Greetings and salutations, everybody. My name is Isan Barrantes, and today we're going to enjoy this podcast about my English learning process. So, I'm going to share the screen with you as a support for this podcast. I'm going to answer some questions about my English process. Now, let me see here. Okay, Augusto Barrantes Cortez, an English student that is going to share this learning process in this amazing podcast. So to start, we're going to review the contents of the podcast. When and how you started learning English, the challenges and how you overcame them, effective strategies that help you improve memorable experiences related to learning English, and your current level and future goals in English proficiency. So let's go with this. When and how you started learning English? Okay, this is a curious question about my starting my beginnings in this process. I started learning English after a frustration because I wanna get I wanted to get a job in the cruise ship industry. So they demanded that I have to learn English to get the job. So I didn't know English at that time. So I decided to take some courses in English to train myself to pass an interview. After 6 months, I realized that the techniques used by my teachers and the methodology used in that class was amazing. So I got interested in the topic of learning English more than to get the job that they were offering to me. So after some years, I decided to learn for myself, watching documentaries, reading books, studying grammar on YouTube. And in 2022, I got some money and I decided to pay the career to become an English teacher. So it's been a hard process, a good process, also an easy process. Could be confusing those statements, but it's amazing. This process is kind of climb a mountain with cliffs, with mm, places, mm, comfortable places, secure places, and risky places. So that was the reason I decided to learn English because it was amazing to me to follow the methodology of those teachers. And also, I wanted to understand the world in English, in another language, another perspective, another mindset. I know that my hobby is to learn English through geopolitics, history, psychology, and to understand the world in another language could give me more perspectives. more knowledge because some researchers, the native language of some researchers is English. So that was my beginnings in English, and that's it. Okay, let's continue with the next question. And the challenges and how you overcame them. Okay, this is a question to be very honest. The challenges to have someone to practice. For me, that's very difficult because my context, my friends, my family, anyone does not speak English and anyone is not interested in learning English. How I overcame them in English classes, English courses, English lessons at university, for myself, speaking alone, reading aloud, and so on. Another challenges, another challenge, I'm sorry, could be pronunciation. Maybe the difficulty to speak on camera is a challenge that I'm trying to overcome, but it has been difficult, but it is possible. I'm confident that I can do it. I have to practice every day. I have to practice consistently. Additionally, I must cultivate my motivation more and more. Instead of watch videos about only English, maybe I could watch videos in English about how to overcome fear and certain techniques to speak on camera. I would say that's the way to overcome this fear and these challenges. Okay, another question. Effective strategies that helped you improve. The first strategy I utilized when learning English at the beginning was to read and to create flashcards in stickers. I pasted them in the walls at home. It was a great strategy. Therefore, I got a lot of stickers. So it worked at certain point. After that, I decided to leave, but still I keep those stickers because it could help others to learn, or it can help me to review some words, some vocabulary previously learned. That strategy was kind of pillar of my English process because as I learned vocabulary, I got fluent. I could understand text and complex texts. After that, I decided to watch movies and documentaries with subtitles turned on. When I read the subtitles, I got some of the words that I had written off on the stickers, so I could understand a little more. So after that, I decided to listen every day, most of the time, five, 5, 6, 7 hours, listening. As my hobby is to listen news, documentaries, economics on radio, on YouTube, I got more interested because I turned on the radio or the computer to listen a Canadian radio station. So with time, those words that I learned through stickers got in my head and I listened them on radio, on movies, on documentaries. So my understanding, my comprehension progressed a lot. To conclude this point, I'm looking for more strategies because every strategy has a limit because the level is changing every day. So I think that's a process to discover the best strategy every day is not only one, could be a lot of strategies working together to help me reach certain level. That's the idea, to be creative and discover the correct strategy that help me to improve every day. This is a constant journey. That's the name of the podcast. Thank you. Let's continue with the next question. That is about experiences, memorable experiences related to learning English. Yes, I have good, I have had good experiences learning English. I have had bad experiences learning English. That's real. But every experience has been useful to realize the weak and strong points when learning English. Okay, I'm going to tell you one good experience, no, one bad experience, and after a good experience. So let's start with a bad experience. Once I had to prepare a presentation about happiness. So I read a lot of happiness. I created a presentation on PowerPoint. I wrote off notes to help me during the presentation. But by things of the destiny, I don't know, I forgot everything in front of the people. That was the worst thing ever. I got frustrated, disappointed, sad. But after I realized that it had to happen to realize that I had to be more active with my learning process, that there is not a victory and a final point. This is a continuous journey. This is forever. So that was the worst day in English. So I learned a lot of things that day. And I consider that every day I wanna overcome this challenge of learning. But this is not a challenge. This is a hobby. This is a thing to enjoy, a journey to enjoy. 2 weeks after that huge mistake, I got motivated. I got extra motivation to continue this journey. Now I'm going to continue with the good experience. As I said before, I'm a big fan of news, documentaries, history, psychology, economics. Once I was listening the news on the W News, a German broadcaster. So I was in the coach, listening everything around me. The sound of the computer was high, so I could listen everything about the news. So I got focused on the host's arguments about certain thing that happened in Lebanon, maybe an explosion. So I understood every word that the host said, every word. So I got kind of impressed. Oh, I'm understanding. I got all the idea that the host of the breaking news said. So I got ecstatic at that moment. I was very happy because I went to the room to confirm that I was listening correctly the breaking news. And yes, I was starting to understand, to comprehend more abstract concepts in English. And I have a confession for you. I want to speak as a lawyer, as a scientist, as a politician, because they are smart people. So when I got all the ideas of the Lebanon explosion in the port of Beirut, and every word very clear, I got completely ecstatic that afternoon. I remember a lot. And from that day until today, I have listened to the news every day, reading more and more, listening more time, more hours to get extra motivation because I have learned English with a hobby. And that's the most interesting thing. And the most special thing is to learn through something that really like to us. It is impossible to learn something if the context or the topic don't like to us. That's the real. So I got that point to my learning process. Okay. Okay, my friends, let's go to continue with this podcast. The next question, your current level and future goals in English proficiency. This is a difficult question because I have measured my level English, my English level, I'm sorry. But it's different in every skill. I read at C2 level, but I speak at B1 level. My listening is between B1 and B2, and also my writing. Additionally, to develop more and more fluency, it requires lots of work every day. Therefore, there is the opportunity to do that. There are not limits. It's kind of a decision. So my future goals in English and French, I confess that I'm learning French also, is to get the C2 level in both languages. To be honest, it is a challenge. Additionally, it needs lots of patience, lots of work, and lots and thousands and tons of extra motivation. It is possible, yes, and that's my decision to reach that level in both languages. C2 in both languages, less I cannot accept. And that's the process. That's my journey. This is my podcast. Let's continue. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I hope you have enjoyed this kind of podcast to summarize my learning process through these years. Thank you for listening and see you soon.